Hello again, Facebook Live. Thank you guys for coming by, tuning in, watching the replay or whatever. And I am more than happy to talk to you today. It's not going to be a long video here, but I do want to talk to my friends about what I announced earlier today. So I'm trying to do a Facebook Live a couple times a week, and I'm trying to bring you some value to this and have it be something that helps you out. So I'm going to try and tell you what the subject is before I do it. So I'll try and do an announcement in the morning of, or maybe a day before or something like that. And then try and bring you something that works for you in a brief period of time. And I'm not really sure what I'm doing with all these videos because while they are here on Facebook, they're only available to my friends right now. So I may repurpose them and put them in my public channel on Facebook, and I may also put them out on YouTube. But for right now, just Facebook Live and just to the people that are my friends right now. So I want to talk to you about what I told you I would, the one video that every still shooter should create. So the video is actually going to be a video for you, about you, and about your photography. So let's unpack this a little bit. There's a video that almost every business out there should have, and that's a welcome video, and it should be on their website. And it depends on what kind of, hey, Antonio, nice to have you on board. It depends on what kind of business you have. So if you're a chiropractor or a dentist or something like that, you want something that looks fairly professional. And, you know, if you have a local craft store, you can do something that's a little less polished, you know, a little bit more informal, but it probably should be edited and that kind of thing. And you want to put that out on your website. And so I would call that a welcome video. Another kind, or another place that you can put a welcome video is on a business place, you know, a Facebook page, business Facebook page. But what you don't want to do is create this kind of welcome video, you know, a 3-minute kind of mini overview of what you are and what your company is. You don't want to create that and then put it out just blindly on social media to a cold audience because people will get bored. They don't watch stuff more than 30 seconds long. So that's a different kind of video. In fact, there are all kinds of different video styles. And I even did something for all my photographer friends. I wrote a free ebook called Profitable Video Recipes, 6 profitable video recipes for photographers. And this is where you can download a free copy of it. And by the way, capitalization does matter. So take a screenshot of that and you can download that and have your own, come on, focus. Have your own version of that. So that ebook actually has in it the welcome video, welcome style video. Now, the reason that photographers should have this is because if somebody ever says, hey, Renee, thanks for coming by. If somebody, no, not that. If somebody ever says, do you do photography? What kind of photography do you do? You can say, go to my website. And then you want some kind of a welcome video. You want something that's kind of engaging. And if they've never talked to you ever before, you being on camera, talking about your photography is a great way to go. Now, a couple years back, one of the projects that I was doing, I did a welcome video with an Orlando-based photographer. He didn't do any of this video himself, but he gave me a bunch of his images. And what I didn't want to do, and it's really up to you how you do this, what I didn't want to do was have cropped in, zoomed in, really tight versions of his images. I wanted to show his whole images on screen. So you'll see, I've actually got a video that I can show you here. And it'll give you an idea of the kind of thing that you as a photographer should be doing so that you can put it on your own website so that when people go and they click on the about, it doesn't just say so-and-so went to this school and they studied art and blah, blah, blah. You actually get to meet the photographer and hear what they have to say about their photography. So I'm going to play this video. I'm going to show you this video that I did for Bruce Wilson over in Orlando. And I want you to check this out because there's some really good stuff. And think about how you might do something like this for your business. So I may narrate over the top of it. We'll see how that works. So here's the Bruce Wilson video.
Hi, Bruce Wilson from Bruce Wilson Photography here. Thank you for coming by and visiting us. Let me share with you a few things that we do here at the studio. One of the things I think that separates us between other photographers and ourselves is we get a chance to know you. For example, business portraits. I see a lot of business portraits out there that look very same. I see the same background used over and over as a head and shoulder type portrait. We want to know the type of business that you're in. Are we doing color, or are we doing black and white? Are we matching the website, the color harmony, or the color brand that you use?
So you can get an idea of what Bruce is doing. He's narrating the kind of video, or rather the kind of photography that he does. And he's got 3 categories. You don't want to go with more than 3, even if you do it all. So that was about business portraits. Now he's doing a little segment on senior portraits. And he's got the stuff that's important about it, about the senior portraits. So let me go ahead and fast forward to the very end, because he goes through senior portraits, and then at the very end, this was family portraiture. At the very end, he has a single call to action. So check this out.
Whether it's senior portraits, business portraits, or family portraits, look around our site, give us a call, because we want to take your family portrait in your next portrait session.
And then it ends on his logo and his phone number. So the cool thing about that is the video shows examples of his work. It isn't cropped in. It isn't the Ken Burns style where you're really zoomed in on his work. It's nice and wide. It shows the finished image in whatever orientation it is. So I did that on purpose, and then kind of went through a number of images in each of the categories and let him talk. And the cool thing is, if you're not comfortable being on camera, you don't have to worry about it. You can just do that opening couple of sentences and say, welcome, thanks for coming by. Let me tell you a little bit about the photography that I do, and then get into talking about the photography. You're in your zone. And so he's sitting there narrating or talking about business portraits. He's talking about family portraits. He's talking about senior portraits. And 90% of the time he's doing the talking, his face isn't on camera. So for you photographers who don't want to be on your videos, people do need to get to know you, and they do need to get to connect and communicate with you. But you have your work as the featured thing on screen. And it doesn't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be zoomed in where you're seeing the whole image up close and really tight and seeing all that detail. You can see the finished video, or rather the finished still images placed on the video. So you've got the 16:9 orientation of a video on your website, and your still images fit within that. I hope that helps some of you guys. Hey, Steve Deegan, thanks for coming by. Hope that helps you guys in thinking about how you might better market yourself. Now, let me tell you why this is such a cool idea. You do this kind of simple video, and a couple of things are going to happen. Number one, you're going to see what's involved in the production. Number two, you're going to be less shy about offering simple video to your clients, your customers, your still photography subjects. And then another thing is, you're going to build rapport with people and not even be there. So you're going to be able to connect with people. So the single best way to connect with somebody is in person, face to face, talking to them. But the second best way, and arguably, potentially, maybe even better, is a video of you talking about your business, talking about your photography on your photography website, because it's there 24/7. Somebody's going to look for a photographer, and they find all the photographers in your zip code. Great. Which one do I hire? Oh, this one talks about her work. This is cool. I really like her. I like that personality. I like how she comes across. So you have an extra opportunity to connect with people that are just in the hunting stage looking for a photographer. It's a great tool. And again, once you really start to understand how simple these kinds of videos are to create, and you do one or two yourself, and you realize what it's like to be on camera doing a simple video like this, then you can turn that around and turn it into yet another thing that you can sell. So I did mention this a little bit ago. There are 6 video recipes. I just did an ebook to try and help people out in when you're moving from still photography into video. You don't need to do all the cinematography and camera moves and jibs and sliders and a person with a boom pole for the microphone and lights and cameras everywhere, multi-camera shoot. You don't need all that mess for cinematography. There are some kinds of videos that still photographers are very, very good at. Your camera's great at it already. And so you just need to know, how do I start off with a lockdown shot? Now, do you remember at the beginning of that video where I showed Bruce and there was a wide shot and he started talking and there's a slow push in? I'm going to show it to you one more time. Slow push in, and then there's a dissolve and it's much closer to him. Let me show you those two at the very beginning.
Hi, Bruce Wilson from Bruce Wilson Photography here.
So you see the real
Thank you for coming by and visiting us. Let me share with you a few things that we do here at the studio. One of the things I think that separates us between other...
Okay, so the reason that I did that, he had a couple of takes of him talking and introducing himself. One time I had the camera way far back and it was really wide, and I just had it as a lockdown shot. I wasn't zooming in. You might think I was, but I did that in editing. I did it in post-production. Then I did another cut of him with the camera much closer to him, so he's framed up nice and close. But I wanted to set the stage. I wanted his studio to be visible. I wanted you to see the props and things around him so you could see he's in a professional photography studio to kind of set the stage for him talking about his photography business. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. If you have any questions at all, I see that there are a few people in here with me still right now, and also a couple people have made comments and said hi. If you have any questions, let me know right now. And one more time, just so you know, this is where you can get my free video recipes ebook if you don't have it already. And if you don't have any questions, I got some other stuff I'm going to do. So I hope this helped. I thank you guys for stopping by and watching the live stream. I hope my notice this morning helped you be here later this afternoon. And then I hope doing a couple of these a week is going to help you out. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for coming by. I'm going to give you just a couple more seconds here and see if there are any questions. There's one. Oh, no, not a question. But it is a thank you. So let me see if I can do this. There we go. You're welcome, Renee. Thanks for coming by. All right. So there's that. I'm still getting used to my interface. Oh, and I forgot to do, this is so cool. I forgot to do this. Yeah. That. Real professional, huh? Yeah, it'd be professional if I actually used it. So that's my lower third. Hope it helps you guys to, hope my video today helps you guys to do a little bit with your video and market your photography if you're selling. And if you're not actually selling photography, don't worry about that, because you could use simple videos like this to show off your photography and do a little slideshow kind of thing in video form that you could share on the web. And you can also help out friends and family. You might help out your church. You might help out a local charity by doing some very, very simple video as a still photographer. So some things to think about. Thanks for coming by. Talk to you guys later. Oh, what is my interface? Christopher Arnold just came in. Let me do this. There we go. The interface that I'm using is actually really cool, and I'm just getting used to it. It's a program called Ecamm, E-C-A-M-M, Live. Ecamm Live. You can find out about it at ecamm.com, ecamm.com. Works only on Mac. And what it is, it's an interface that lets me do things like have comments like this on screen from my friend Christopher. It also lets me do things like put in my own lower third like this. So I created that myself in Photoshop, and then I saved it, and it's an overlay that I can bring in, and I can address comments and do some different things. I can change. I have a couple cameras. Right now I'm using my Canon 70D, and I actually like it a lot because the look is really nice. The background's kind of soft, and the color is more accurate and it looks good and it's not like super wide angle. But if you want, you can switch between multiple cameras. And I actually do have a webcam. So here's my webcam. See how ugly that is? And it's also a wider shot. This is my Logitech, and I actually kind of liked my Logitech camera until I was able to hook up a DSLR, and then I can have something like this. But what you can do with Ecamm Live is what I just did, switching. So you can bring in lower thirds, you can bring in comments from people on screen, and change up multiple cameras. Oh, and you can do some other things. There are some special effects. So let me see if I can do this. Going to set up a special effect. I actually think this is really kind of cool. Let's see if I can do this. Pixelate. No, it's not showing. Hang on. Maybe. There it is. There's the pixelate. Or I can do monochrome. Kind of creepy. I can do a zoom blur. Ooh. That's really horrible. And I can also do this one. This one I kind of like. I really like that. There's just something about the big eyes that just seems kind of fun to me. Anyway, that's it. Just some cool stuff that you can do with this interface. When I get better at it, I'm actually going to do a live stream on Facebook Live about the software that I use and the connections that I use so that you can get a better feel for it. But right now I'm still kind of experimenting. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for coming by. I'll see you guys later.